What's up everyone? I am Jamie with Three Little Goats Homestead, and we just finished up chores, and it's wonderful because I'm not drenched in sweat because it's 80 degrees. We haven't seen 80 degrees in the afternoon in what seems like forever. We've been 100 plus degree temps for like the last 2 weeks with very high humidity, and oh, I feel a breeze coming. So that means we have about a week to get some much needed projects done before we hit back up into those high 90s. So Jesse has got our whiteboard out that we have been tracking everything that we have done since we moved to this property, which we've just been crossing out as we go because it's nice to see what exactly we have done in kind of our accomplishments over the last year of living here. But now we've got to figure out what we're going to do this week that takes priority so we can get those. So for our weekly task this week, we have to do the goat spa day. We got to clean the barn, clean the coop, cut lower pasture, and then subdivide the big pasture.
Else too.
Was there something else?
Greenhouse, the beds.
Clean out the greenhouse, that was it. Clean garden. Alright, so those are what we're going to get done this week. Obviously, I'm not going to be filming all of that because we are on limited time, but we will definitely start off with hitting the ground running in the morning with the goat spa day. So now we've got to kind of figure out what else we have to get done for the fall. Move 30 trees. I'm going to expand the garden.
What else do we got? Fence across the creek pasture. I'd like to build the new shelving system.
Garage storage. What about the chicken coop?
I'd like to build that too.
Mobile coop?
Mobile layer.
Alright, so those are our big projects that we have planned for the fall. Alright y'all, so we're going to head in for the night and then we will hit the ground running with some of our weekly tasks. Will we get through them all this week before the heat kicks back in? I don't know, but that is the goal. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright y'all, so it is the next day and I'm going to start working on all of the goats. Jesse's going to start working on the monstrosity that we call our yard right now. We've gotten some rain, so the grass is happy, which means it's going to be cut. So he's going to be working on that while I work on the goats. First thing I got to do is move the milk stand outside because I will be shaving some udders today. So we're going to do everything outside so I don't get a bunch of hair and stuff in my milk parlor. So let's get started. So if you're new to our channel and you haven't seen one of our goat spa videos, we do different things depending on what time of year it is and whether or not our goats are pregnant, or if they're nursing, if they're dry. So today we have half of our herd, well not quite half of our herd, is pregnant, and some of them are starting to bag up. So we are going to be shaving the udders of those girls that have udders. We also are going to be trimming everybody's hooves today. We're also going to be doing their selenium. They get this every 4 to 6 months, as well as giving them their copper bolus, which they get every 4 to 6 months. And to do that, we use a copper bolus gun. So let's get started. you ever wanted to work your goats for the day, even though it's still 82 degrees right now and it's nice and fairly cool compared to what it has been, working the goats for a few hours will definitely get the sweat going. And sorry about the noise, Jesse is still weed eating so he can finish getting the grass cut today. But all of the girls are done. All of their hooves are trimmed. They've gotten all of their minerals and vitamins that they need. So the girls that are ready to kid are ready to go. The girls that still need to be bred for spring are ready to go. We still have about another month before they're ready to go into the breeding pasture with the boys. I don't want January babies. We tried to shoot for March for spring. So the only real girl that gave me any problems today was Sadie, which was a surprise because Sadie has always been like my really good milker. She's always been great on the milk stand, but today she was not having it and she did not want to get on that milk stand, which happens sometimes. But we got her up there. I still do need to shave her udder. Her udder wasn't quite big enough that it really was worth shaving yet, so I'm gonna wait until she udders up just a little bit more before we shave that. But for the most part, all the girls are happy, healthy, and they are ready to go. So I switched over to my phone because it's getting a little warm and I didn't want to bring my camera out here. But since I'm done with the goats a little bit early, I figured I will start working on the atrocity that I call my garden. I have really been waiting for my okra to die. I can't weed in my okra beds because just rubbing against these leaves, I hive up so bad, but they don't want to die. So I'm going to pull all of the okra, which I have just a ton of, and most of the stuff will probably go in the freeze dryer. And I know I have a bunch of little sugar baby watermelons that are definitely ready to be picked, so I'll be picking all of those today. And then more okra. My cucumbers are still hanging on. I've got a bunch that I have to pick. I'll probably leave this guy up. These are my market mores. I like the little guys to can for pickles, which, even though I have a ton of pickles right now, you never have too many pickles. But I've just planted some peas the other day. Something ate all of them out of here, but these guys have started to pop up, and these guys, and I'm going to get all the rest of these beds weeded so we can start planting some more stuff for fall. Now I do have cabbage that I just threw in here, and it's popped up, but I may just pull it so I can amend these beds again because they're looking not so good right now. But yeah, out here I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to tackle it in phases. Today we're going to pick everything that needs to be picked. The corn, this is my second batch of corn. It's not quite ready yet, so it'll be left alone for a little bit. And then, yes, I know, it's horrible, it's bad, but it's also very hot in here. And when we were hitting 100 plus degrees, it was even hotter in here. So I've got a bunch of peppers in this bed that I'm gonna pick, and these are all tomatoes that I haven't watered in like 3 weeks, but they still won't die. So we're gonna pick all of the tomatoes, whether they are red or green. I still have a bunch of peppers over here I've got to pick too. So we're going to pick everything in here that we can get to, and then later this week we'll be able to pull everything out and get the greenhouse cleaned up for fall. Alrighty, so this is what I got from the outside garden. I've got a bunch of sugar babies, a whole bunch more cucumbers, a lot more okra, and then these are cassava melons. Jesse always jokes about wanting a cassava melon, so I planted them this year. If you understand the TV reference for the cassava melons, give this video a thumbs up and say another quote from that TV series so we know you watch it too. But most of this stuff will be pickled. I'll probably put the okra in the freeze dryer because some of them are pretty massive. They're not hard and woody, so they're perfectly fine to eat. This one's actually still pretty soft, but I don't have room to store any more okra, and I don't want to pickle any more okra, so those will probably go in the freeze dryer, and the watermelon will probably get chopped up to go in the freeze dryer as well. So now let's head into the greenhouse. Alrighty, so inside the greenhouse I just took a few more peppers and green tomatoes to pick not a whole lot of bigger tomatoes left. We've been picking tomatoes since April, so still have a ton of cherry tomatoes. I didn't even pick all of the red ones because I don't have room for any more tomatoes at this point. So these guys I think I'll actually put in a batch with the freeze dryer when I do the watermelon, because they'll probably take about the same amount of time in the freeze dryer because they are very moist. But I'll cut these guys in half to freeze dry them. So phase 1 of garden clean out is complete. All of the stuff that was ready is picked. And then for these guys, all of my red spicier peppers, like I've got cayenne, I've got some red jalapenos, and just a bunch of other peppers in the freezer that I'm actually going to ferment to turn into a hot sauce. So that's what we'll do with those. And then Jesse will just eat like the pepperoncinis and jalapenos with dinners and stuff. So I think that is the extent of what we're going to do in the greenhouse today. So we actually cut with the lawnmower around the greenhouse and then up along the goat pasture and through here, and then the big pastures we brush hog. So today he's trying to get all of this grass cut so he can get to brush hogging hopefully later this week. And the girls are just hanging out enjoying the cooler weather. And Chucky's hanging out too. Alrighty, so I have got 2 trays of the cherry tomatoes and then 3 trays of watermelon. So I'm going to get these in the freeze dryer. They'll probably take about 2 days, maybe a little bit longer to process. So they probably won't get pulled out in time for this video. So if you want to see how they turn out, make sure you follow us on social media because I'll probably post it there first. And they'll be in next week's video. We're playing the game of don't drop all of the feed buckets. Alright, so I would say today was a very productive day. Jesse got all of the grass cut around the house. The garden is ready to be pulled up, and so we can start planting our fall garden. And tomorrow Jesse will cut the lower pasture with the brush hog, but that will be for another video. Right now, if you couldn't tell, it's time for dinner. So let's get the evening chores done and get the cows milk. You girls have made just a mess of the watermelon vines that I gave you. So we're gonna feed you over here. But I need you to get out of the feeder. You can't. I can't feed you if you're in the feeder. All right, ready? Let's go this way. Psych. Good evening, Chonkos. Look at how talky you guys are getting. What are you guys doing? You guys ready for dinners? Okay. I know that's not what you want. You want the good stuff. Hold on. One more thing to the list.
What's that?
How do you spell Ghibli bits?
I don't know.
We gotta castrate the pigs this week.
Oh, yeah.
So, cut the pigs. We'll just put that. That'll be a fun project. Said no one ever. You know it's been a productive day when you have to change your shirt before chores because you're drenched in sweat and you just feel gross. So I'd say it was definitely a productive day today. The grass is nice and cut, but the garden's still a mess. Baby steps. Baby steps. Good evening, Moomos.
Just fine 'cause I got you. Rain still free and running, and this day has never kept us bothering. Every day we dance and life's been smiling. We're not young, still drunk in love. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you are here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. Time is up, nothing to do. You are gone, that makes me blue, but here he comes to take me too.
Alright, y'all, so we are done with milking the cows. We've just got to process the milk and put everything up and clean it. So I'm going to end this video for tonight. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really does help. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We put out new videos every single week. And be sure to subscribe, because we still have a lot more fall projects that we have got to start and finish. So if you want to see some of those projects, be sure to subscribe for all of that. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Alright, before I end this, as a final note, the girls' production had dropped down considerably with the heat, but I am very excited to see that their production has started to kick back up again. So tonight we got 7 gallons of milk, which isn't quite where they were at before we had all of this heat, but it's getting there. So I'm very excited about that. Alright, now I'll see you guys